Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, and it's time for yet another Cons Gamecast. I hope you're all excited. I hope you're all ready for this. It's been a long time coming, and yeah, I've been a slacker pretty much, so I hope you're all doing okay. I mean, a lot of people have been asking about, oh, where's the next podcast? What are you up to, Rurikhan? You're just putting out a bunch of videos and not even addressing the community, and it's been really hard, guys, because I mean, you guys have noticed. You clearly must, at least I hope you've noticed, because I've been doing quite the effort for putting up videos constantly, and so I hope you guys have noticed that the upload race is that upload race the upload rate has definitely increased, and that is obviously, as you should figure, it takes a lot more time out of my hands than usual, which means usually I would like to be putting out videos every now and then and not really be on a fixed schedule to release stuff daily. Whereas lately, in these past couple of months, I've been really struggling to try and get more and more videos out because you guys keep asking for more, and I actually need feedback. Like, do you guys think I'm going too fast and going too slow? That kind of stuff. It's important to me. But that's the reason why you guys haven't seen a Cons Gamecast in a while. The other thing is also because usually with each Cons Gamecast, there's going to be a cons Q&A attached to it where I answer a whole bunch of questions, and it's been impossible to answer questions because it's just like there's too much stuff on the website right now, tons and tons and tons of comments, and that's an amazing problem to have. I love having that problem. Thing is, it makes it really, really hard to organize this kind of stuff. Anyways, I want to try and start doing this show with a quick little summary at start of what we're going to be talking about, so that all of those of you who tune in and maybe you're not interested in everything that I'm talking about, you're going to know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. So in this show, I'm going to be talking about Cons Gamecast and Cons Q&A for something that I will be addressing as soon as I'm done doing this little summary here. We're going to be talking about PSN Plus. If you see my eyes, going off to the side like this all of a sudden, it's because I'm actually looking at my notes, and it's like, look at this. Have a crap ton of notes here. It's like ridiculous, the amount of stuff I want to talk about. But mostly, and in a very short way, I want to talk about PlayStation Network Plus, because it is apparently changing. I want to just briefly address that. I'm also going to be talking about Diablo 3, although I probably believe that all of this stuff is going to be in the title, hopefully, if I manage to do a proper title for a change. I'm going to be talking a little bit about Diablo 3, and I'm going to be talking, I guess, a lot about E3. So it's going to be a pretty big show, and hope you guys stay tuned. And that is the summary for the show. So let's get started. Cons Gamecast number 4, I believe. Yeah, number 4. It's going to be Diablo 3, E3, and me. So, anyways, let's get this party started. So, for starters, like I was saying, there's not going to be a Q&A episode anymore. I'm really sorry about that. I realize that you guys really like the fact that I read a lot of the stuff that you guys put on the website in the air, but it's just not feasible with all the stuff I'm working on and all the stuff I got coming. I got to start thinking about what's realistic, and the Q&A is definitely not a realistic thing, because stuff just keeps popping up and piling on week after week after week. And I need to have a life outside of all this, okay? It's like I need to have time to hang out with my girlfriend. I can't just be recording 100% of the time, even though it's been pretty much what's been happening. I mean, if most of the time anyone was to come into my house and look at me, I would usually either be recording, editing, managing uploads, managing thumbnails, because I do all my custom thumbnails. Big shout out to Side Stray for helping me out with that. I do all my custom thumbnails, and it's just like planning stuff and ordering stuff. It's ridiculous, okay? Type of stuff that I've been doing on a daily basis. It's just bonkers. But anyways, I'm not saying that it's like, oh, I need to stop. I'm not saying that I need to stop. I'm just saying I need to organize the shows that I'm working on. So no more Q&A, but at the end of this show, I will be answering 5 questions taken from the website. So there's not going to be a Q&A, but at every show, I'm going to pick 5 questions from the website of people who've posted comments there and that kind of stuff. I will be picking 5 of those and answering them, because 5 is a manageable number. I can just put it in the Cons Gamecast together with all the other stuff that I want to talk about, and there's no need to make a separate show called Cons Q&A, because, I mean, that would just, it's just increasing on the time of production for this show. And this is a show that I want to start doing like on a weekly basis or something like that. So I need to have it kind of streamlined, is what I'm trying to say. So anyways, that's what's going to happen with Cons Q&A. I hope you guys don't kill me for that, but that's what's going to happen. Also, I've been pretty much answering a lot of people's comments on YouTube as well, and I'm going to be obviously prioritizing the comments on the website. There's going to be a lot of comments that I haven't answered between this show and the last one, and I'm quite frankly not going to have the time to answer them, but I'm going to try and start answering by text all the comments that come in through the website. I'm going to try and prioritize those ahead of the YouTube comments. After that, I'm going to go through the YouTube comments. And I've noticed that quite a lot of people have also been sending me YouTube private messages, and those are harder to reply simply because I actually have to log into YouTube, go to the YouTube inbox system, and everyone that has, you know, a channel that receives a couple of messages, everyone that has a YouTube channel like that knows that that system just doesn't work. It's crap. It's slow. It doesn't mark the messages as read. And that is probably one of the main reasons why I don't go to YouTube's inbox as often. So if you send me a message through YouTube and I still haven't gotten back to you, that is the reason. It is a pain in the ass to use that thing. And sometimes I don't know. It's just like, I'm like, okay, I got to do this YouTube thing, but then I get distracted with something else because like I got to do this recording. Like today, I wasn't even planning on doing a Cons Gamecast today. It's just I had to do it because I haven't done it in such a long time. Like my priority today was to shoot some more Dead Space. And that's not going to happen. But luckily, I still have some backup episodes. So that should be fine. That should be taken care of. Also, something else that I've noticed in the comments, I forgot who mentioned it, but I should have typed out his name. But I replied back to him in YouTube comments, and he said that I was getting a little bit too aggressive in my commentary, and I totally agree with that. And that is just a problem of me sometimes getting carried away, and sometimes you start switching your commentary style and you don't even notice it. And I think it's important to address this because it's like, it's not always a change for the better, because I don't want to be this aggressive over the top guy, because there's like a ton of people already doing that. I want to be the real guy that you guys know and that you guys like. At least I hope you guys like it. From the previous work that I've done, you know, the guy that goes behind an undead, shoves a big ass sword up his spine and says, "Good day, sir. How you doing?" That kind of stuff. I'm more into that kind of stuff and, you know, portraying myself like that than like the rage guy, like, "Oh, you son of a bitch." I mean, I need to strike a balance somewhere between those two. So it's very cool that you guys give me feedback on that. I really love the fact that you guys take time, go and do some feedback. It's like, man, you're getting a little bit too aggressive, because it's hard for me because I'm the one doing it. So sometimes I don't even notice that I'm doing it. You know, for me, it's just natural. It just comes out naturally. And it's good to have influences from the outside, because then I can see, yeah, this guy's got a point. I'm getting a little bit too aggressive. I need to get control of that, because I don't want to be a Call of Duty commentator, you know, just rage fast all the time. That's not what I'm looking for. So, but I think you guys already know that. But anyways, I just wanted to thank that person. You know who you are. I replied to you back on YouTube, all that stuff. So sorry I didn't point down your name. But as you can see, it's a pretty messy list that I have here. It's like, this is me organizing stuff, you know? The cons method. So let's get this party started. I want to start by going after PlayStation Plus. And the reason I want to start by this one right now is because for someone like me, it was a really big deal what they did with PlayStation Network. So apparently Jack Tretton said that he was going to be revamping the during the E3 press conference of Sony, the E3 Sony conference. Jack Tretton, who is the president of Sony America, I believe, he said that they were revamping the PlayStation Plus. And I thought that's cool, because I've been one of those persons that I've always wanted to have PlayStation Plus, because I noticed, man, there's some good deals there, but there was never really that over the top deal that made me want to commit the money to actually go ahead and start Plus. Because there's also the disadvantage that when you don't do the Plus subscription, you can't play the games that you got with Plus. That's the thing. That was always the thing kind of holding me back. I was always like, man, it's a good deal, but then if I don't want to pay, you know, And that was completely shattered by the latest update. And in Europe, I believe it updates on Thursdays, because only on Thursdays when I noticed that they did the update, because I saw it on E3 and I was just waiting for the thing to update so that I could see if I really wanted to do it or not. And let me just tell you, at least for me, it was totally worth it, because if you don't have a big game library for the PlayStation, which I obviously don't, I just have a couple of titles, I think the PlayStation Network Plus is eventually going to become like a must-have, simply because of the deals that you're going to get out of it. Like, for instance, I purchased a 1-year membership of PlayStation Network Plus, simply because it's 49 euros, right? 49 euros. And the games that I'm going to have access to that, just this month, I believe that there's going to be new offers either every month or every week. I don't know, something like that. But just this month, the games I'm going to have access to are Little Big Planet 2, which I did not have. And it's good to play with your girlfriend and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Or when you have a lot of friends at your house, whatever. It's fun. It's a fun game to play. So Little Big Planet 2, Infamous 2, which is a game I wanted to get into, but I obviously want to buy a lowered price version, because I don't want to go pay full retail for Infamous 2, simply because it's not a game that I'm going to be playing all the time or that I'm going to be making videos about. It's just a title that I like. I like the Infamous series. So I got Little Big Planet 2, Infamous 2, Darksiders, which is a game that I started playing on the PC and I had some problems with the Crystal Sword. I got the Crystal Sword glitch. Couldn't proceed with the game, but now I'm getting on the PlayStation, which kind of motivates me even more, because I prefer playing those types of games on the PlayStation. MotorStorm Apocalypse, which is a game that I've been wanting to get for ages. I was just trying to see if I could get a better deal, and now here it is. And I mean, just look at it this way. Just these 4 games alone, it's about 30 euros a pop, even at reduced prices, which even at the moment I even believe that Little Big Planet is still like 40 euros or something. But I'm just saying, okay, let's just say it's 30 euros. I believe that Infamous 2 is also 40 euros, but let's just say, okay, 30 euros. Darksiders is probably around 20 euros, 15, something like that. And MotorStorm Apocalypse is 30 euros. So if you look at this list just here, that's like 9 euros. It's like 105 euros of games. Just on this small list, because you also get more stuff. You get those games that are the DLC titles. Like, you also get Outland. I got Renegade Ops. I got Mahjong. I got some Virtua Fighter. I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even knew existed. But you get all that stuff, you know. And I just thought it was a pretty good deal. And that's why I wanted to mention it, so that all you PlayStation users, I mean, go out, check out your PlayStation Plus, see if it's worth it for you as well. It was definitely worth it for me, and I just want you guys to check it out for yourselves, see if it's worth it for you or not. So for 49 euros, I basically got like over 100 euros worth of games that I'm actually interested in, plus a whole bunch of other games that I don't know if I'm interested or not, but I might just try them out and not playing. You know how that stuff works. So after mentioning all this, I think it's important for me to mention as well that this show is not really sponsored by Sony, but maybe it should be. Although if I was to be sponsored by, by Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, I think I'd probably rather be sponsored by Sony. I'm kind of a PlayStation guy. You guys probably noticed that about me. So yeah, that's what I had to say about PlayStation Plus. Check it out. Make sure that if you have a PlayStation that you check it out, and there might just be some good deals there for you. If you're the type of person that, like me, usually doesn't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. The only reason I went to pay attention to it was because of the E3 conference. But anyways, we'll be getting to E3 shortly. But for now, let's talk a little bit about Diablo 3. So a lot of you are wondering what are my current opinions on Diablo 3, and I want to talk a little bit about that as well. I actually wanted to get T2.Lanton to do a Diablo 3 video, but he seems to be really busy and he's playing the game all the time, so I'm not sure if I can work that out. I sent him a YouTube comment, and he said, hey, as long as it's during maintenance time, sure. But I'm like, yeah, maintenance time in America, that's going to be a pain in the ass for me to actually get a video done during maintenance time in America. Who knows what I'll be doing? It's not that easy to organize my schedule. So it was something that I was really looking forward to do, but it might not be possible. I don't know. If I still get a hold of him and our schedules kind of work out, I'm gonna try to put a video out of me discussing with T2 Darland. That would be pretty cool. That would be something that I would really enjoy doing, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be possible or not. But so let's get this started. Diablo 3. What are my opinions on Diablo 3? I think that overall, from a mechanics standpoint, Diablo 3 is a pretty good game according to today's standards, I guess. It's like it sticks to its roots almost, but it changed a lot of stuff at the same time. So you're like, what do you mean? It's just like clickety clickety clickety. Yeah, it's not just that. It changed a lot of stuff. So for starters, in the old Diablo, you could mess up. Like you could be working on your build and all of a sudden, oh crap, I messed up, and it's like your character's ruined forever. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they departed from that, but you feel that a lot of control is taken away from you when something like that happens. It's like, oh, you can't put any stats. But I want to put stats. I want to do stats. And when I started playing the game, I kind of get it. I was getting it because I was feeling like, oh, okay, I get it. They want to do automatic stats so that you don't gimp your character and all the skills are viable at all times. And I get that. I totally get that. But the thing is, this whole thing of skills being viable at all times turned out to be a complete load of crap. Because once you get into the higher difficulty settings, not all builds are viable. You have to make specific builds. And I would go as so far as to say that this is all being discussed from a barbarian perspective, by the way. I should probably mention this because people with different classes might have a completely different experience. This is from a barbarian standpoint. So I'm playing a barbarian, and I noticed that as the difficulty was growing higher, the game was sort of pushing me. It was like, no, you need to go get this skill. And I'm like, but I don't want that skill. Like, for instance, let's talk about a very specific barbarian skill, revenge. The game basically forces you to use revenge. I don't think I know any single barb build in higher difficulties that does not use revenge. And I was like, I don't like revenge. And you know why I don't like revenge? Because me personally, unless I'm making a build, just for fun or something like that, I don't want to have builds that depend too much on procs. And that's what revenge is. It's like, if revenge procs, you're in the clear. If revenge doesn't proc, you're in the shit. That's it. That's how it works in higher difficulty levels. And that's not a skill that I want to have, because that skill is kind of like a lifeline for the barbarian. At least that's how I feel. It's like it's what keeps you alive. Sure, there's more. You can do the charge skill. I don't even know what the name is. I haven't played Diablo in ages. Like, guys are watching those videos come out. I still have like 5 or 6 videos of Diablo to put out before it actually catches up to the place where I am. So that's why I haven't been playing Diablo for the longest time. And the thing is, I don't like the random nature of the skill like revenge. So I know that there's the skill like charge, like I was saying. I don't even remember the name of that. The charge skill that you can put it with life leech, and you can put rend with life leech, and you can put, I believe, overpower with life leech. But it's like, so I'm basically getting everything I can just to survive. And bear in mind, I'm not even saying this is a bad thing, but it's like, what about all the other skills? How about if I want to make a barbarian that's not just about the life leech? I want to make a barbarian that, like, I don't know, what was my barbarian doing when I was having... Oh yeah, I was doing the cleave rupture thing, which is pretty cool because when mob blows up, all the other ones start blowing up. And I was dual wielding just for fun so that I could attack faster and kick crap faster. And I liked using the hammer skill because I liked the animation. I liked the impact. And, those kinds of skills, that kind of stuff. But it's like, no, you can't just go ahead and pick whatever skills you want in the higher difficulties. No. It's like, it narrows it down. So I was... And this ties into the whole stats thing, stats and picking your skills thing. Because if I look at Diablo 2, there were a lot of barbarians that could be playing in hell with a lot of different builds. Like, you could be a frenzy barb, you could be a whirlwind barb, you could be, I don't know, you could have so much variety. You could be sword and board, you could be two-hander, you could be there was a lot of variety, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. There was a lot of variety because you would build upon your stuff. I believe there was even a point where there were like throwing barbs that would like throw axes and stuff at you, and they would kill monsters like that by throwing axes. There were the barbarians that would kill stuff with their shouts because the shouts would make damage. There was a lot of fun combinations that you could have. And I notice as I go to watch, live streams of good players, and I go to watch videos of good barbarian players and stuff like that, and what I tend to find is that mostly everyone is using kind of the same setup. And it's just like, why? I mean, you want to have variety. You built the game around variety, for Christ's sake. The whole system is built so that people could experiment with builds. But with a barbarian, what it seems like is like, oh, you got to hell? Okay, well, fine. Well, these were your choices in Nightmare. These are your choices in Hell. I suppose that Inferno leaves you with like one build or something. Oh, man. Let's move on a little bit. So, apart from the fact that the builds kind of start to narrow down and you have to go down a specific path once you get into higher levels of difficulty, and I'm okay with going down a specific path. Sure, I would rather have it the Diablo 2 way, where there was a lot more variety of what I could do with my skills and all that stuff. It's okay, fine. You want me to go down a narrow path? I'll go down a narrow path. But what happened when I went down that narrow path was I started realizing, wait a second. So I'm in hell difficulty at this point, and I'm like, so wait a second. My weapon has 100 DPS, and I've been farming and grinding and killing Diablo and killing Act 1 boss, Butcher, all that bullshit. Still have a 100 DPS weapon, and I'm like, this isn't cutting it. So I go to the auction house, and apparently for my level, I could have like a 300 DPS weapon. And I'm like, what? How come not a single one of these items has fallen for me or any of my friends that are in hell? And I'm like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. I'm not getting any weapons. I'm not getting any loot that I should be getting. And it's okay. Because, like, I understand that, like, you need to grind, you need to do your thing. But, I mean, we're talking about several people in my friends list who were not getting decent weapons. It wasn't just me. So what it seems to me is that Blizzard has purposefully generated this demand for items so that people are forced to go to their auction house. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh my God, he's going to bring out the real money auction house again. Oh my God, here it comes. Rurikhan's going to cry and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, whoa, I'm even banging my microphone. There we go. And it's like, I got really pissed off with the fact that it's like, it was something that I was pissed off at the start when I started hearing about it. It's like, oh, it's going to have this auction house thing. And I was like, I was already seeing what Blizzard was trying to do, right? Blizzard is trying to maintain a product. I can respect that. They're trying to maintain their product by, transactions and whatever. I can respect that. But now they're generating a demand where it shouldn't really exist as much of a demand for it. Because, like, I remember playing Diablo 2, like me and my friends having fun, and we're just like all killing stuff, and everybody's picking up loot all over the place. So it's like, I'll find a weapon for my friend will find a weapon for me. We would pretty much take care of each other. In Diablo 3, we weren't able to do that. So what happens? We all go to the auction house, and for dimes, I mean, for considering the amount of gold we had, it wasn't even that much. We just go to the auction house, up, boop, buy a weapon. Oh, look, I'm now 3 times as effective. And I was just like, so this is what they're doing. This is their plan. It's like they're creating this demand for an auction house. And when I started hearing about the auction house, right before the game was released, I was telling people, this is bad news. This is really friggin' bad. And people were like, oh, you're over-exaggerating, and it's not really going to matter if you just want to enjoy the game and have fun and whatnot. And I have to now go back to them and say, you see what I told you about the auction house? Because the auction house is what basically is ruling this whole game. It's all about the auction house. Like, everybody is buying and selling on the auction house. And yes, there was a big trading in Diablo 2 as well. There was a lot of trading done in Diablo 2. People would trade for items, but usually you would have to, get some Stones of Jordan. You would have to get your own items, and then you would go trade items for items. it wasn't just plain gold trading. And that's what they've created. They've created gold trading. And what happens is now everybody is getting spammed by bots. I know I am. Even on my website, they go to my goddamn website and post comments there. Oh, buy Diablo gold, blah, 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 blah. Except I'm always like marking those as spam, getting rid of those. But it's like there's this huge economy of people selling gold in Diablo. And now the real money auction house is going to come in. And it's just like, I just wanted to play my RPG. I never liked the auction house in World of Warcraft. Like I told you guys a whole bunch of times, when I played World of Warcraft, my girlfriend was managing all of that stuff because I don't care for managing that aspect. I just want to be the best player I can be. I don't want to be the best economist I can be. Okay? I don't want to spend all my time in Diablo like looking at an auction house. Okay, I need a new weapon. Now I need a new piece of armor. Now I need a new belt. And I stopped playing. My barbarian is like at level 59, somewhere in hell. I think he's about to get to Inferno or something. Like I said, I haven't played in a long time. And it's just like I kind of started losing interest because it was like I would go and I would beat on mobs and I would be using the perfect build. And you get to a point where there's even combinations of champions, because I've seen the really... You know, the live streams of the really higher up players, the guys that have more time to do that kind of stuff than me, because I also have to cover Dead Space and other games. I've been watching those guys stream, and what they do is they come up upon certain combinations of champions in Hell and in Inferno, and they just like go outside the game and then log back in and hope that they get a different combination. That's not what I want to do. What? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't touch this pack of mobs. They're just too powerful. They're like molten, arcane, enchanted, my balls, prison. It just pisses me off to no end. It's like, sure, I like a challenge, but I don't want to have like a pack of mobs that I have to dodge. I want to kill everything. I want to be able to find a spec, a build, something that works for me, and I want to go ahead and kill all these monsters. And you can't do that, and especially not in hardcore, because you're going to lose your character. You're going to die 100 times over. And it's retarded. I don't like that at all. So anyways, I've been rambling on and on and on. The other thing is the item generator is jacked up. Like I don't think I've ever seen an item generator so jacked up, because it seems like it's also rigged to go into the whole create a demand thing for the auction house. Because like I would be a nightmare, right? Crafting level 50 items, and those level 50 items would have stats from normal difficulty. And I would be like, why? Why would my nightmare item, or even hell, since I was at level 50, why would a hell level item have the stats of an item from normal difficulty? I mean, sure, you can get bad items, fine, whatever, give me a sword with 100 intelligence, whatever. But there's a difference between getting a yellow sword that you were crafting for a barbarian with 200 intelligence or whatever. There's a difference between getting a sword with the proper stats but for a different class, and getting a sword with plus 10 intelligence and I don't know, something useless like plus 5 armor. Who gives a shit? And I was like, what's this? What's this item? What the crap is this? I spent God knows how many materials crafting this friggin' thing. And it's like, it has the stats of an item from normal difficulty. And I grab it and I chuck it away. I just feel like telling Blizzard to shove that thing up their ass. It's just like, it's retarded. And it's not just happening to me. Because if it was just happening to me, I'd probably keep it quiet. I wouldn't say a damn thing. But it's happening to a lot of people. And I've noticed the way that they are grinding now in Hell. That's also fun. It's like, they join a game. They go to a specific location where they know one of those goblin things spawn. They go there. It's not there. Log out, log back in. Not there. Log out, log back in. Still not there. Log out, log back in. Oh, I found it. They call 3 other friends, and they all bash on the goblin and pray to God that something good comes out of it. It's like a loot piñata. It's like, is this really the type of game we're playing? I mean, I realized that I used to make a lot of Mephisto runs, but I mean, at least Mephisto was a goddamn prime evil. Like, I was fighting off a goddamn prime evil. I wasn't fighting a friggin' loot piñata, a goddamn goblin with a back on his with a backpack. Are you friggin' kidding me? Oh my god! And the more I was watching of Diablo, the more I was like, this game is just not for me. And so I start looking at a lot of the skills as well, and I got to the conclusion that to a lot of people, to a lot of gamers' disappointment, that Diablo 3 is not really Diablo 3. And you're like, whoa, what the hell do you mean? It's obviously Diablo 3. Yeah, sure, whatever. In name, yeah, sure, you can call it Diablo 3. You can call it the grandmother's RPG. I don't give a damn what you call it. You can call it the loot pinatas, whatever. Call it whatever you want, but that is not Diablo 3. That right there, if you take a look at World of Warcraft and you take a look at Diablo, that right there is World of Diablo. And there is a big difference between the world of Diablo and Diablo 3. And then you go on these review websites where everyone's like, oh my God, 5 out of 5. It's the best game of all times. And then you go watch like reviews for Dragon's Dogma or something. They're like, oh, the game, it's like boring and it's too hard and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so wait a minute. So you're telling me Dragon's Dogma is too hard, but Diablo 3 is a 5 out of 5. Okay, so let me just ask you straight to the face, to you, the reviewer that's reviewing these games. I'm going to ask these reviewers straight in the face. And I'm not a games reviewer, mind you. Like, I'll give you my opinion on games, but I would never call myself a games reviewer, specifically because I think that a lot of these people that are reviewing games are doing a poor job at it. And I don't think that I would make any better job than them. But I would like to ask them straight to their face, like, I'm sorry, good sir, why don't you go ahead and you explain to me, how is Dragon's Dogma harder than Diablo 3? Because, I mean, you didn't complain about the difficulty in Diablo 3, but yet you complained about the difficulty in Dragon's Dogma. Or even better, why don't you complain? A lot of people complain about the difficulty in Dark Souls. Dark Souls, it's so hard. It takes 100 hours to play through Dark Souls. But yet nobody has a problem with Diablo 3. So let me get this straight. So you play Diablo 3 in normal difficulty. That's it. And you think that's it. It's over. You don't even have access to all of your runes at level 30 or whatever it is that you play through normal. Seriously, you don't have access to all your runes. Hell, my barbarian's level 59. He doesn't have access to all his runes. Are you kidding me? What the hell are these people doing? They're like, oh, no, this game's too hard. Diablo 3, no, that's perfect. Yeah, right. Why don't you go down to Inferno Street in Diablo 3, huh? Why don't you go have some fun there? Better yet, just go down to hell just to get a little bit of taste. See how the difficulty is then. And then when you're forced to go into that auction house that nobody seems to give a damn about, because nobody mentions the auction house in these reviews. They just say, oh, the game is amazing and all these other things. The game is awesome and blah, 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 blah. Why don't you go down to Hell Street, go down to the auction house, be forced into buying weapons and gear because you can't go through Hell or you can't go through Inferno, and then talk to me about difficulty in Dark Souls. At least I'm never going to have to give $5 or $10 or whatever to get a Dark Souls item. I might do it for the DLC because that stuff's going to be pretty awesome. But I'm never going to go get like, oh, I'm going to go buy the Great Sword of Artorias. Are you insane? What the hell are you people doing reviewing these games? You guys have no fucking idea what the fuck you're doing. Again, I'm going all ranty and stuff. So let me just try to end this in a positive tone. Diablo 3 is a great game up until Third Act Nightmare. Because until Third Act Nightmare is when you don't actually have to worry yourself with the auction house and all this other overlying bullshit. That's about the extent that you should be able to go. Barbarian experience, once again. If you're playing some other class, maybe you can go down further. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's like, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed because I've been a Diablo fan for so long and it's just like, whatever. So I'm still going to be doing my hardcore monk all the way until he dies. When eventually he dies, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. That's also the reason why you guys haven't been seeing me do a lot of builds, because I was planning I'm going to get to the higher difficulties. I'm going to make all these weird-ass builds, but it's like, it's pointless. Because why would I want to give you guys a build that's like you get to hell, like a champion pack comes in, like let's just say Molten And what's the thing? Fire Chain. Molten Fire Chain, Arcane Enchanted. What do you care what build I have for you? You know what you're going to do? You're going to run the fuck away and kite. That's what you're going to do. That's what every goddamn class is going to do when you come up against those kinds of mobs in Inferno. You're going to run away and kite because that's the only way to do it. And I mean run away and kite if you plan on spending some time grinding those down. Because if you're in a hurry, you probably just want to bypass those. Or like just log out, log back in, whatever. So yeah. I realize that a lot of you might be disappointed with my opinion of this game, but it's just like I said, it's a great game up until when they force you to go to the auction house. Because I did not want to get involved in the auction house trading at all. I would rather grind my way. Hell, I made a sorcerer to grind my way, but it's just like you can grind your ass to Kingdom Come and the drops just aren't there. It's just the only reason you're watching that type of stuff on the auction house is simply because there's like millions upon millions of players, and that just increases the chances exponentially of the item showing up in the auction house, but not necessarily in your game. Also, something else that I think was in everybody's head is the fact that it feels a little short, doesn't it? I kind of get the feeling that Diablo 2 is a little bit longer, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. And again, longer doesn't always mean better, but I just felt it felt kind of short. Anyways, right now I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about E3. And the first thing I want to talk about E3 is, again, I'm on a ranty mood today. I'm on a real ranty mood, ranty Rurikhan. And I'm going to have to go ahead and ask, do these companies that are making these presentations, do they really know what the hell they're doing? And you guys are wondering, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm talking about, well, why are these companies coming up with these ridiculous presentations? I mean, look at Sony, look at Microsoft. I can just completely wreck the demonstrations. Look at Nintendo. I could wreck those demonstrations, completely just destroy them because of lots of stuff that I believe they did wrong. And I'm going to mention some of that stuff. Like, for instance, why does Microsoft spend all this time of their conference with this one person saying, Xbox, Netflix, Xbox, do this, Xbox, play dead, Xbox, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're showing all of this Kinect bullshit because that's what it is. It's bullshit. And they're trying to appeal to a casual audience. Okay, no, I get that. They're trying to appeal to a casual audience. Now tell me, all of you companies out there that were doing all of these press conferences and all this bullshit, tell me exactly how much of your casual audience actually follows E3. I don't know. I mean, let's look at it this way. I mean, I'm a hardcore gamer, so to speak. I mean, I'm obviously not the best gamer in the world, whatever, but I'm kind of hardcore, right? You guys know me. I like my Dark Souls, like those kinds of experiences. So I'm kind of hardcore, not casual at all. And they do these presentations to appeal to these casual audiences. So I'm following E3. I'm watching the coverage on game trailers. I'm watching it live as it's happening. I'm like glued to my screen watching this stuff. Meanwhile, my girlfriend's a casual gamer. She plays those social games and all that bullshit. My friend's girlfriend's a casual gamer. She likes playing those DLC titles on his PlayStation. You think they give two fucks about E3? No, they don't. Not at all. Like, I know more examples like this of people that are casual gamers. You think they're watching E3? So I'm just getting to the point of people watching it. Okay, watching it from the comfort of their homes. Now tell me, how many casual gamers do you think actually fly to E3? Unless they happen to friggin' live there. Unless they happen to live wherever the expo is. It's in Los Angeles. Not sure if it's in LA or whatever. How many people casual people actually go down to E3 and stand in lines, then go to these conferences and sit down and listen to all these people talk about video games. You really think your casual audience is going to watch your presentation? Are you insane? What the hell is wrong with you people? I mean, sure, maybe investors will go there and you want to like pitch your thing to investors. But in reality, I think investors also want you to pitch it to the correct people. They want you to do a presentation that will grab people's attention. And I'm sorry, but having someone around like telling Xbox to navigate menus is not really my idea of a good time. Or if we go to Sony's conference, showing the Wonder Book, you think any casual gamer or any parent of a child that I mean, for instance, if I had a kid right now, you think I would want my child to play Wonder Book? No, not really. I'm a hardcore gamer. I expect my children to play hardcore games. I don't want them to play no silly friggin' book, pop-up book. What? You're crazy. So hardcore gamers don't give two craps about that. Sure, technologically, yeah, it's impressive. You got that thing and the stick and whatever, and it opens up or it doesn't open up. And then you have this person doing the presentation, and I'm sorry for that person because maybe they didn't told her how to move worked or something, but she kept messing it up. It was a complete disaster. I was watching that and I was like, at least focus on the Asian chick that knows what the crap she's doing instead of focusing on that one, the camera, I mean, because the cameraman was like shooting the other chick that was just like messing everything up. It was like, oh, I can't open this door. I would be raging. I would have thrown the Move remote right against TV. It's like, this shit doesn't work. And it's like, that was so bad. I was watching that and I'm like, the people that are watching this presentation and the people that actually flew to E3 to watch that presentation don't care about that casual bullshit. Now let's look at Nintendo. I mean, for Nintendo, I'm only going to say one thing. Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land. Really, Reggie? I mean, you're a really cool guy. I think that Reggie is awesome at doing presentations. But oh my God, I feel sorry for him for the type of stuff they make him do. It's like, Reggie, I got this project right here. It's called Nintendo Land. You're going to go up there and you're going to present this and you're going to sell it. And Reggie's like, oh my God. Reggie's like in a bathtub next door slashing his wrist like, make it stop. I can't sell this shit. And then he goes on stage and he's still forced to do it. And I kicked my microphone again. It's just, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's just, I don't think that these companies know how to balance things. Sure, show 5 minutes of something casual per presentation. I'll be fine with that. But like, Sony was like half an hour of Wonder Book. And the other thing was that really pissed me off, this was probably Game Trailer's fault though, is that Game Trailers fucked up the audio when they were presenting God of War. And I was like, are you kidding me? You guys were like flawless in that goddamn stupid book crap. And then you screw up the audio during God of War? Kill me. I was the one slashing my wrist at that point. Are you kidding me? Kill me now. Is this what gaming is going to become? No, I can't take it anymore. Oh, man. Anyways, let's take this to a more positive tone. So, in my opinion, people always say, who won E3? Did Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft won E3? And my personal opinion, you want to know who won E3? Ubisoft. Ubisoft nailed E3. They knew what they were doing. Like, I even thought, like, when the Ubisoft press conference started, it's like they start the whole dance thing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't give a damn about that dance game. But it was cool to set the mood. You know, because like, oh yeah, whatever, it has rhythm, it has people dancing, it's fun, whatever. And then they start switching just game after game after game. And sure, you guys might say, oh, but what about that Rayman Legend thing? I thought that presentation was awesome. Sure, maybe it wasn't a game that I was that interested in, but at least it's a game and it looked cool. I mean, I was actually surprised by that. That Rayman Legends thing, the presentation they did with the Wii U controls, I thought that was awesome. It had two players playing, and it had the third player with the what do you call it? The Wii U gamepad? Whatever the hell you want to call it. With the Wii U gamepad, you know, slashing and rising things and whatever and creating. I thought that was cool because it was fast paced, it was action, it was a platform. I just thought it was really cool. So to me, Ubisoft won. I mean, look at it this way. If you look at the Microsoft conference, one of the high points in Microsoft's conference, Splinter Cell, that's a Ubisoft game. You go to Sony's conference, one of the high points in Sony's conference, Assassin's Creed 3, with the whole boat action thing. It was awesome. Another high point in the Sony conference, Far Cry 3 4-player co-op. Again, another Ubisoft title. Go to the Nintendo. Again, they had Zombie U, they had Rayman. I'm not sure what else they presented at Nintendo because I kind of started zoning out during the Nintendo thing because I just thought it's like it's so bad it's not even funny anymore. Like at the start it's funny, but after it gets to a point where it's just so bad that you just have to stop watching. You just can't take the punishment anymore. So to me, Ubisoft won because even in the other conferences, when the other conferences were doing their high points, it was Ubisoft games. And the Ubisoft press conference was pretty cool. And I was even told by Sidestrift, like, oh, you just get easily vowed by celebrities. And I was like, the chick was a celebrity? Like, I don't keep up. I'm sorry, I don't keep up with the celebrity business. Like, I know Tabuscus, but I don't consider him to be a celebrity. The other chick had no idea who she was. Sorry, Ubisoft chick. I didn't really knew who you were. Still, I think she did a good presentation. So now let's talk a little bit. The next thing I have in line is, again, another negative thing. But let's talk about EA going the Call of Duty route. It's like, you guys remember Activision? Oh, Call of Duty Elite. Well, EA seems to think that's a pretty good idea because now it's going to be Battlefield Premium. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, really? Battlefield 3 Premium. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the fact that Battlefield, like Sidestrafe has mentioned in a previous analysis, is going down to the Modern Warfare route of close quarters combat. I wasn't a fan of that. And I guess I'm just immediately not a fan of Battlefield 3 Premium. So I just thought it was funny that EA was going the same route as Call of Duty Elite, pretty much. Because that's pretty much what it is. It's like, oh, get the content earlier. Get blah. It's like, whatever. Just give us all your money. That's what they want. Just give us more money. Activision and Electronic Arts. Like, one sitting next to the other, just like, give me money. Give me all of your money. And you guys are like, oh, you play Dragon's Dogma. That's from Capcom. Capcom's also DLC, whatever. And I'm like, yep, Capcom's the same thing. They're just like, give me money. Except Capcom did a game that I really enjoyed, and I had to give them the money because, I mean, sure, I want to stand on principles and all that stuff, but I also want to have fun. And it's like, gets to a point where you have to, it's not like, take my money. It's more like, I'm giving you my money, but in all reality, I just want to punch you in the face. That's what I want to say to Capcom. It's like, you get my money, but I want to punch you in the face. So yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about games that I took notice during E3. So for starters, Dead Space 3, because you guys seem to be loving the crap out of Dead Space. Speaking of which, there's a poll on the website right now where you guys can vote on your current favorite Rurikhan series. And Dead Space is pretty much trumping the house. I was surprised. I thought like Dragon's Dogma would be owning it up. And Diablo 3 is just like so down there. It's like nobody gives two craps about Diablo 3. And I'm like, damn, poor Diablo 3 getting smashed to the ground where you belong. Oh, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, Dead Space 3, I noticed Dead Space 3. I thought it was looking pretty cool. And it's also got co-op. You guys know that I'm a sucker for co-op. I know that a lot of people are like, oh man, but Dead Space 3 was all about the isolation and blah, 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 blah. But I love co-op. I'm a sucker for co-op. I'm sorry. So I don't know. I'm liking the Dead Space thing. So I know that a lot of people aren't. But me personally, I love it. I'm cool with it. Splinter Cell looked pretty good. Like, I have Splinter Cell Conviction. I played it a couple of times. Excuse me. I played it a couple of times with Sidestrafe. I've been trying to get him to play ever since, but he never really wants to play it again, so whatever. But it's like I really like playing Conviction. I'm probably going to get back into Conviction at some point because I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Splinter Cell is looking good. It's looking like a really solid game, the one that they're working on right now. What was it called again? Damn it, I didn't really point that down. I should have pointed that down. It's just that there were so many games in there. Another game that looked pretty good was Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is looking to take a chapter out of Uncharted, which is pretty cool because I'm a big fan of Uncharted. So I'm all for this new Tomb Raider. There was a game that they just showed a very small clip. It looked very intriguing, but I would have to see some more gameplay to actually know if it's a good thing or not. But it was called Ascend New Gods. It was during the Xbox 360 presentation, and I was a little bit surprised. I was like, whoa, what's this game all about? It looks kind of like God of War-ish, whatever, but I need to go look into that game some more. Ascend New Gods. It was looking pretty good. Resident Evil 6, I don't know where I stand with that. I looked at the presentation, and I don't know. I was expecting more. I was expecting a little bit better graphics. I seem to recall that the graphics weren't that amazing, and especially after Resident Evil 5, like I expected a step up. And maybe it was because it was in beta. Maybe my stream was botched or something. But for some reason, the game failed to impress me from a graphical standpoint. And I don't know. I don't know where I stand with Resident Evil 6, but I don't know. I don't know. I was just indecisive about that. The other thing was Metal Gear Rising. I know that a lot of people don't like this game because they feel that it's not within the style of Metal Gear Solid. But I liked it. It was hack and slash. You could slash the crap out of a whole bunch of people. It looked pretty cool. So it's all good in my book, I guess. So Revengeance was looking pretty sweet, if I can say so myself. I saw a demo of someone playing it and it seemed pretty solid. Now, one game that actually grabbed my attention, and I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it before, was Far Cry 3. I mean, you guys know me. I'm not too much of a shooter fan, unless it's like a third-person shooter or whatever with action and that kind of stuff. You know, if you get into Call of Duties or Battlefields, it's not really my thing. But Far Cry 3 had me intrigued when I saw the storyline with that crazy guy and whatever, and the freedom of the stuff that you could do. And then all of a sudden in Sony, they're just like, well, 4-player co-op. And I was like, And I know that a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, all he cares about is the co-op. But what do you expect? I like co-op. I like playing with my friends. I think it's fun. So Far Cry 3 definitely struck a note with me. Assassin's Creed 3, I still don't know, because it's like the thing with Assassin's Creed is that I still haven't played through Brotherhood. I haven't even bought Revelations. So it's like I feel I'm missing out on the story if I just jump to Assassin's Creed 3. But it's just like I feel that Ubisoft kind of milked it down a little bit too much. It was kind of like, oh man, they really liked Assassin's Creed 2. Let's just push some more of this. Okay, let's push this the game. What do we call it? Brotherhood. Call it Brotherhood. And it's like, oh man, they really love Brotherhood too, man. They love that Ezio Auditore storyline. Oh yeah, well, let's do Revelation. Let's tie him up with Altair, do all this crazy stuff. Put that out there. Boom, another one. It's like year after year after year. It became kind of like a Call of Duty. And I was just like, I didn't have time. Because like I played through Assassin's Creed 2. I loved it. I loved the experience of Assassin's Creed. It was amazing. But it's just like I didn't have time to actually get to enjoy Brotherhood. And all of a sudden Revelations is out. I mean, I'm not even 10% into Brotherhood. And all of a sudden Revelations is out and I'm like, you know, when games start coming out too fast, with a rhythm that you can't keep up because it doesn't let you try out other games, I think it's bad. I think it actually hurts the brand. So still not sure what I'm going to do with Assassin's Creed 3, but it's looking pretty impressive. I especially enjoy that ship fighting section. I thought that was pretty cool. So Assassin's Creed 3 is definitely one to look out for, especially if you're a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Ubisoft came out with that Watch Dogs thing. That looked pretty interesting as well. There's no real way for me to explain to you what Watch Dogs is all about. Just go to GameTrailers.com or something, look for Watch Dogs. check it out. You should have a look at that game. Definitely should have a look at that game because it might be a big deal. So check it out. It might just be your cup of tea. Obviously, God of War grabbed my attention. You guys should probably know by now I'm a huge God of War fan. And I'm very intrigued to try out that multiplayer mode they have now for the game. The story mode was also looking action-packed, hack and slash, just the way I like God of War. And plus, obviously, you guys know that at some point in this channel, we're going to have like a full God of War playthrough. So I'm definitely interested in God of War Ascension. By the way, if you're listening to some background noise, it's because it's the festivities of this zone right now. So it's like festivity week, and they're just like making a bunch of noise. So if you hear any background noise, I apologize, but there's nothing I can do about that. Another really impressive game was Last of Us. Last of Us is definitely a game that I'm buying like day one. It's an awesome game. I especially enjoyed the part where the guy's like click click and the AI goes, I know that sound, starts running towards the guy, and the little girl grabs a brick, a fucking brick, smashes the guy in the face with a brick. He's like, here, have a brick. Guy just takes a brick to the face. I mean, whenever you have like a gameplay section where a little girl grabs a brick and throws it to someone's face, that game immediately gets Khan's seal of approval. Right there. It was like the second the little girl grabbed that brick and it was like, brick to the face. Boom! I was like, well, stamp of approval right there. So yeah, Last of Us was pretty impressive. Star Wars 1313. I don't know how I feel about that. I like the fact that it's the storyline does not revolve around the Jedi. It revolves around, I think, as a smuggler. I like that. That looked pretty cool. I'm not sure how I feel about the game, though. I'll have to check it out, and there's some more details. I need to go to game trailers and watch some more of that. And Zombie U was also a pretty good looking game, but I'm not sure about the mechanics because, again, the thing about the Wii U is that you have all these people, they're like, oh, we're going to support the Wii U. We think you can do great things with that controller, blah, 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 blah. In the first couple of months, everybody's happy. Everybody's having fun. But usually what happens with Wii U is that once those first couple of months are done, it's like the developers are like, well, right now I just want to go and standardize my game. And I want to make standard games for standard consoles. And then everything goes back to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. And you're just going to have a Wii U. And you're just going to be playing with the professional gamepad. And I don't think that's the reason why people should be buying a Wii U. That's the thing. So I don't know how well that's going to do. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to discuss today. Which is good because we've been recording for over an hour. My voice is slowly going away. But I still have those 5 questions I told you guys I was going to answer. So the very first one comes to us from Viger. And Viger has this to say. Wait, what's with all the demanding stuff and caving into that? It's like asking Bob Dylan to be more like George Michael because Mike has the funny looks and groovy dances and he should be like that to cater to the gay community because he hasn't reached out into that area yet. The reason I love Rurikhan, he's unique with his own style, confident in what he does, dedicated, great knowledge about gaming and video editing, great communication skills, and knows how to entertain. He's a true professional. In short, he's the definition of brofist. Thank God he isn't one of those million and dozen casuals. We're all doing the same shit for the same reasons. Surely Ruri aims for publicity as well, but in his own way, and I respect that. And because of that, I'm a loyal watcher, no homo, and without making fake promises or creating false hope, I am planning to make a generous donation in the near future. Keep this brother in the air because it would break my heart to see him go under for whatever. Thus resulting us to revert back to mainstream annoying casuals broadcasting ass hair. Selfish much? Anyway, stay real, stay Rurikhan. Sincerely yours, Mom. That's not really my mom, but. So, Viger, the first thing is apparently he was replying to a bunch of people that were saying that I needed to change some stuff. I don't really remember what the whole issue is about. I just think that it's important for everyone to realize that I need feedback. So if people are complaining about something, I always want to hear it. I always want to hear feedback. And some feedback I will consider that I really need to apply it, like the feedback that was given to me that I mentioned at the start of the show that I was growing increasingly violent in my commentary and aggressive. And that's not the way I personally want to go. It's important for me to receive this kind of feedback. So don't just tell everyone, like, don't ask for anything. I mean, people need to give me feedback. It's the only way that I can evolve as a commentator is if I keep on building upon the feedback. Now, the thing that he's saying about I do things in my own style, it's like you won't usually see me follow down trends or whatever. It's like, oh, this game is trending, unless I'm really interested in a specific game, like which was the case with Diablo 3. You won't see me like going, oh my God, I need to get this game out of the way. Like, for instance, a couple of weeks ago, I could have started probably banking views out of the DayZ mod from Arma 2. But the thing is, I'm not interested in that mod. I think it's a great mod for whoever is having fun with it, but I'm not interested. And I'm not going to go out of my way to do a game that I'm not interested about just for the sake of getting more views. That's not the way I want to do it. I want you guys to be entertained. I don't want to go get a whole bunch of popular topics, because I could do that. I could go get popular shit and make videos about popular shit just like everyone else on YouTube is doing. And that's not what I want to do. Like Total Biscuit once said, if you're coming to my channel for popular games, you're doing it wrong. But anyways, yeah, sometimes you will see popular games, like was the case with Diablo, but that's only going to happen with games that I'm really interested about. Thank you very much for your comment, Viger. Next up, we have a comment from Mega Deluxo. Mega Deluxo has this to say. Hey, Con, first, while I prefer a physical copy of a game too, this was in regards to what I mentioned in the previous Gamecast about physical copies versus digital purchases, which is funny because now I've actually adhered to PSN Plus and basically got a whole bunch of digital games. But the reason for that is pricing. It was so much cheaper that way that I had to swallow my pride of not having a physical copy. Excuse me. But I still prefer having a physical copy. Remember that. Anyways, Mega Deluxo said, first, while I prefer a physical copy of a game, I too love having the actual box, maybe an instruction manual with it, gas, pictures, and illustration. I don't mind if it's a title from a smaller developer like that game company's Journey. I don't remember who made Journey either, sorry. But I hear we won't have much choice with the next generation of consoles. Everything is going purely digital. Movie rentals are damn near to that point already, so we might as well enjoy what boxes we're given now while we can. Secondly, you're not ranty or commentating. If no one speaks up, nothing changes. You often suggest alternatives, like you did for Demon Souls servers going down and how they should use Kickstarter. Someone who rants just bellyaches and offers no ideas. It's part of the reason I'm a fan of yours. So many podcasts and gaming sites just whine, whine, whine. Thus, you do not rant. Lastly, I'm sorry about Amalur, but I think a big reason a lot of us attend the Church of Khan, the Church of Khan, that's what I'm talking about, is due largely to your detailed coverage and commentary on games that, while popular, are still kind of fringe because of their daunting difficulty. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, those games also make for a great watch with their emphasis on action, few cinematics, and no bloated storytelling approaching like Amalur and Skyrim. The more people jibber jabber, the more fun it is, right? Make the Souls series unrivaled. And since you know your shit with these enormously harrowing titles, that's why we visit the site daily. No matter what you choose to put up here, I'll watch. Also, a question for the next Q&A. What are some of your favorite movies of all time? To hazard a guess, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and guess the Khan's a fan of Gladiator. Pretty much the face, the movie, that one. I like Gladiator, but one of my favorite movies of all time is and will always be Reservoir Dogs. You guys need to watch that. If you haven't watched that yet, go watch Reservoir Dogs. It's a pretty damn good movie. And I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan, so also really like one of his movies called The Four Rooms. I thought that was pretty cool. If you want comedy, it doesn't get any better than that. So yeah, you guys should check out those movies, by the way. Reservoir Dogs and Four Rooms. Quentin Tarantino. Can't go wrong with that guy. Can't go wrong. Next up, we have a question from the Nighthawk 7. I've been playing lots of Dark Souls and on New Game Plus 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 now. I fell in love with Dark Souls from the start, just like you. I think it's just outstanding. It never gets old. Dark Souls just takes me away into an intense world of boss monsters and adventure. It's the only game that has the balls to kick my ass. I love it. I actually rage so bad, I threw my controller at the wall and it broke. You shouldn't do that. You need to think like I do, which is I don't have a lot of money to spend. I need to spend it on food and stuff like that. So these controllers, they never get thrown against the wall because I immediately think, man, if I throw this baby against the wall, it's like 50 euros to get a new one? Are you crazy? Fuck no. That is how you know it's a good challenging game. I don't think that's actually a good measurement of difficulty. There's just so much to do. Well, I'll stop blabbering and here's my question. I got rid of my PC a while ago because it was slow as a turtle race. So I got a MacBook Pro around 2010. Good job. And I love it. It's fast and meets all my standards. One problem is that Mac does not have a lot of online RPGs besides World of Warcraft. I got World of Warcraft and just the Burning Crusade in 2010. It was fun. Now I want to get back to it and it is just too much. And it is just too much to buy all the rest of the packs, the World of Warcraft, and a 60-day game card. So I'm wondering if there is any PlayStation 3 or Mac RPGs games besides Dark Souls, Demon Souls. Whoa, and Dragon's Dogma. I played Dragon's Dogma demo, and I didn't really like it because the demo didn't tell you much how the game works. Like, is there races, classes, mages, rogues, and archers, warriors, etc. Buying equipment, armor stats. So basically, I just want a game like World of Warcraft, but I don't want to buy World of Warcraft because it is so expensive. Guild Wars 2 looks amazing, but I don't have a PC. I really hope this can get featured on the next Q&A. Okay, so here's the thing. When you go to games and you're like, oh man, I want a game just like World of Warcraft, you're better off just playing World of Warcraft. As a matter of fact, I believe there's like promotions right now for World of Warcraft. You should check out the Blizzard website because I don't know when the last time they did it, but like for $20 you could get like all the expansions or something like that. So if you're into World of Warcraft, trust me, you're never going to get that feeling unless you're like, man, unless you're like me where I got to a point with World of Warcraft where I just said, I need a change, I need something different. If you want something like World of Warcraft, the only thing that's going to satisfy you is World of Warcraft. So go to the Blizzard store, look for deals, go to video game retailers, look for deals where you get the bundled expansion packs or something, and just get it that way. That is the best advice I can give you. Now, if you just want an RPG, there's two RPGs I can suggest. Kingdoms of Amalur. I really appreciated it. It's not as hard as Dark Souls. It's not hard at all, but it's still a lot of fun. I still think it was a really cool game. A lot of people didn't like it, but I still like it. I still think it's a really solid game. So there's Kingdoms of Amalur that you can get for the PlayStation. There's also the Dragon Age series. You can get Dragon Age 1. I really, really, really advise Dragon Age 1. You can even get it for the Macintosh right now, but I'm not sure if that's worth it because there's something with the DLCs for the Macintosh. So then if you want to get DLCs, you'll get screwed over or something. So I don't know. But Dragon Age 1 on the PC was amazing. And I know that it's also available on the PlayStation 3. I'm not sure how good it is on the PlayStation 3, but Dragon Age 1 was awesome. It's called Dragon Age Origins, I believe. So that is a really cool RPG. Dragon Age 2, I'm still not sure if it's that good. I haven't really played it. I have it, but I haven't really played it all that much, so I'm not sure if I can suggest Dragon Age 2. Also, Dragon Age 1 is a very tactical RPG, whereas Dragon Age 2 is more of a hack and slash RPG. So, I don't know. Have a look for yourself. Check out videos, whatever. I don't have any videos on that, so you'll have to look for someone else's stuff. Just check out some videos on Dragon Age, and that might just be a game for you. Something else. Yeah, you also have Diablo 3. I'm not sure if you're interested in that or not. Check out my channel. See the videos for Diablo 3. See if you're interested. That's available for the Macintosh as well, not just the PC. So there's like three suggestions there that you can that you have an alternate to World of Warcraft. But like I said, those games are not like World of Warcraft. Okay? If anything, the most similar in a way might be Diablo 3, but it's like those games are not like World of Warcraft. If you're craving for World of Warcraft, your best bet is go out Go buy those expansions, whatever. Find them on bundles with retail packs. Find them on bundles at the Blizzard store, whatever. But if you're craving for World of Warcraft, don't go looking for World of Warcraft somewhere else, because usually you'll just get disappointed. That's my advice. Thank you very much for your question, DA Nighthawk 7. So next up, we have a question by DJ Lance Rock. I got 2 questions for your next podcast, Special K. Number 1, what's your opinion of 38 Studios laying off their entire staff? Kurt Schilling, the owner of 38 Studios, said the game sold 1.2 million, but apparently it is needed to sell 3 million just to be profitable. Could this have been preventable if Kingdoms of Amalur was a better game, or is management to blame? I'm going to have to actually go ahead and say that one of the big problems with this whole case was how the state got involved, like with the government. I know that there was something with the governor of Rhode Island that he did some stupid shit. He came out and basically scared investors away, because according to what I'm told, I've listened to a lot of opinions on podcasts about this, and everybody says that like there was a lot of good environment, a lot of good ambience in that work environment. Everyone was passionate about Kingdoms of Amalur there. They wanted it to make the best game it could possibly be. So there was dedication there. There was the possibility of investors. There was a lot of love in that project. And the industry needs more of that, not less. And obviously, I mean, the game didn't do as well as it could, because it was, like several people said, it was very generic and very bland and whatever. But it was still a really good game. I still play it. I love the crap out of that game. And I was really, really sad when I heard about what happened with 38 Studios. So I think that part of the blame is in the governor. The other part is that also, I don't know. Because a lot of people say that they didn't like Kingdoms of Amalur. I mean, you can't predict if people are going to like your game or not. I liked it. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. Is management to blame? I don't know, but at least they had a good working environment for their workers. Everybody seemed pleased down there. Everybody loved it. So, I mean, it's hard for me to just say, oh, it's the management's to blame. I mean, they were ambitious. They invested a lot of money into this project. It's just like, it was just an investment that went wrong, and the governor didn't really help. I think they could have probably turned that situation around, but now it's done. It's over. I don't think it's anyone's specific fault. I think it's just a whole bunch of stuff came together and basically exploded in their face. There was nothing they could have done about it. Number 2, what is TGS doing to promote your show? Are you going to be featured in other podcasts? Truthfully, Total Biscuit and yourself are the only 2 guys on the channel I enjoy. Now, I really appreciate the fact that you're putting me next to Total Biscuit. That's pretty cool. But so far, no, nothing has been really done so far that I can say. But I mean, they've been treating me right. Haven't had any problems, but not a whole lot has been done in the ways of promotion or anything like that. And I've been way too busy making videos to actually be able to worry too much about that. So, yeah. Thank you very much for your comment, DJ Lance Rock. Next up, we have a comment by PJ Cricket. PJ Cricket has this to say: just wanted to leave my opinion regarding the series you are covering at the moment. Right now, and even if I'm not a huge fan of shooters, not FPS at least, TPS... It's TPS. Third-person shooters are okay. The series I prefer by far is Dead Space. You and a whole bunch of other people, apparently, if you go to the website right now and check out the poll. This game has everything to be entertaining. Not much exploration, surprises all over the place, reasonable difficulty considering you suck at aiming as well. Why, thanks. But that's actually a problem in the game. It's not me. One of these days I'll make you some montage of me just owning people's faces or something. The fact you do not know what's coming next is a huge advantage for your audience, in my opinion. We want you to discover the content at the same time as we do and get your fresh reactions. Thumbs up for Dead Space 2 once this one is finished. Demon's Souls is pretty sweet, although I'm a bit fed up of watching you rolling through the content pretty easily, with a few exceptions, of course. Don't get me wrong, the game is great, but you are far too pro for it after all the experience with Dark Souls. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you did this this comment before the 3 last episodes where I die like 100 times in a row. So I'm pretty sure this comment came before that happened. Dragon's Dogma won't make it, in my opinion. You're going to face the same issues as with Skyrim. Open world equals problem with action timing, boring to watch 80% of the time. Way too long game to make a series until the end anyways. Strangely enough, the game seems a mix of Skyrim and Kingdoms of Amalur. By the way, with their good and bad things. Diablo Hardcore is a bad idea, in my opinion. I already know you're going to die because of lag. Blame Blizzard, get a lot of dislikes on YouTube because of it, and you won't probably even start a bar because you'll be fed up. Actually, I'm already fed up of Diablo 3. I'm still going to be doing the Monk Hardcore because that's kind of a cool challenge, and it's fun if I have to constantly avoid to die. But personally, with my Barbarian, I mean, you've heard what I've said at the start of the show, or at least you should have heard what I said at the start of the show about Diablo 3. So those are my opinions on Diablo 3. Keep doing your great job. Been following you since the beginning and will keep supporting you no matter what game you play. But you should really consider doing series for games that are well designed to do it. BJ Crickets. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be eventually covering Dead Space 2, but I also want at some point to introduce God of War along with some other series, so we will see how that works out. Also, obviously, we're going to have some Guild Wars content in here, so we will see how all that works out. But anyways, it is 1 hour and 20 minutes of recording. My voice is completely gone. It's actually hurting in my throat right now, and I am out of here. See you guys in the next one.